Okay, welcome back. So in this lesson, I want us to step through our code from the last lesson just to show you how return actually works. So I will visualize our code and notice that we start off in main, of course, on line 10 as expected. Value is 100. Increment is 10. And so now here on line 13, we will be calling the function increment value. So let's see what happens. Notice I am currently in main. So main is highlighted in blue. And so when I go next, I will jump down to the function increment value. And notice it expects two things, double, double. Okay. Now, even though main has a variable named value, it has a variable named increment. The variables in main do not know anything about the variables in increment value. So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter what the variable names are inside the function, because no one else, no other function can see or access those variables. Okay? So it's quite okay if they have the same name because they're self-contained. Okay, so we know that we will start executing the first line of code. And so it will be double result is assigned value plus increment. So let me go back. All right, so notice when I enter the function, the compiler will give value 100 and it will give increment 10. Okay, so notice value is 100, increment is 10. So what the compiler does, it makes a copy of value, it makes a copy of increment, and when it calls the function, it sends them to the function. Okay, so it's a copy. Okay, so we get result 110, and now this is the important part. We return result. So this is result. If we do not return result, then when we leave this function and it dies and we go back to main, then the result will die with the function. And we don't want that. We want to get the answer. Okay, and so that's where the return comes in. Return allows me to send back the answer to main, since main is the one that called the function. Okay, and so when we press next, we'll notice that answer will have the 110. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so when we leave and we go back to main, then this result is sent back. And of course, increment value will be destroyed. So we're back in main, and answer has the 110. So you must remember that when you return some value from a function, you must create a variable to accept that value. Okay, so you can think of it as the function is throwing back the answer to you, and so you must catch that answer. And you catch that answer by putting it in a variable of the appropriate type. It's returning a double, so we are storing that answer, the value, in a double. All right. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So the key thing to take away is if your function is supposed to send back some meaningful piece of data, then you need to use a return. And you also need to specify at the front of the function prototype what the return type is. All right, and that's it. Once you keep this model in your mind about how functions work, then you will be okay. Okay, and notice whenever a function returns, it always returns to the next line of code after the function call. So the function call was on line 13, so we expect that the red arrow, the function, when it returns, it should return and execute line 14. Okay, and notice that's exactly what it does. It goes to line 14. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next lesson where we will write another program that involves functions. I'll see you in that one.